And the winner of the logo art contest is... Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm the One-Eyed Crow, and before we get into the winners of the logo art contest, I do want to talk a little bit about the fan art contest for 2022. The details about how to enter that contest were dropped yesterday on May 15th, and I'll put a link in the description below so you can get to that easier. And if you go to that form, you'll need to put in your name, your email address, your Discord ID, choose which card that you're going to be submitting art for, and at the bottom, there's a link to actually upload your image. So something that I wasn't aware of with this, I didn't actually participate or I wasn't really around for the first fan art contest, is that there's a set list of beasties and auras that you're allowed to do. I had always assumed that the 2021 fan art contest was just fair game, do whatever you want to do here. So that list of beasties that you can submit entries for water is Bunyip, for dark, Owlman, for earth, Mongolian Deathworm, for spirit, Baron Samadhi, for light, Snoffus, for lightning, Caledonian Boar, for frost, Colorbetch, that does not sound appropriate, cosmic, Paciencia Abductor, forest, Flashlight Frog, and flame, Sharoof. And for this year, they're also accepting any entries for all of the auras, and I had assumed that they were going to switch it up to Terras this year, so I was surprised to see that you still need to enter auras for the fan art contest. All art must be done in traditional form, so this means that you cannot submit digital art. It has to be drawn. The medium that MetaZoo typically goes for, from what I've heard, is alcohol pens and watercolors. And at this time, only submit your entries via the online form, and if you are chosen to be a semi-finalist, that's when you'll need to send in your original art. And for each piece of art that you submit, you're going to need to send in a fan art promo card from the 2021 set, and you need to mail that to a place in Nevada, for some reason. I don't know why Nevada, with a return envelope and appropriate postage, and these will all be returned to us with a special submission stamp on the cards. So by sending the card in to participate in the fan art contest, you're actually going to get a specially stamped promo card for the bookmark. And it's important to note that when you send in your entry, you need to actually print out the Google form with your name, email, etc., and include that in the envelope. You need to write Fan Art 2022 on the envelope, and each envelope should only contain one submission. So if you are going to participate in multiple entries, if you have multiple bookmarks, say, you need to submit those separately, you need to send those separately. And then obviously, if you forget to send your promo card in, you forfeit your entry, and this one is actually probably going to get a few people. Failure to properly submit a Fan Art 2021 promo card with proper postage and envelope will result in your submission being removed. So make sure that you're accurately providing a return envelope to MetaZoo when you send this in, otherwise, again, you're not going to get that back and your submission's going to be moot. And why I think this is going to get a lot of people is, well, what is the correct postage? How do we know that? Where do we find that information? And then after that initial round of submissions, semi-finalists will be chosen, and this is when you'll need to send in your original art. Semi-finalists will also get a separate stamp on their bookmark, so those are going to be a bit rarer. You're going to get a semi-finalist stamp. And in the case of semi-finalists, failure to actually provide that original art to MetaZoo forfeits your entry. It's important to note that MetaZoo will not be returning your original art that you submit, and they reserve the right to use that in any form as MetaZoo content, regardless of you actually winning the contest. And semi-finalists will receive 25 Fan Art 2022 blister packs as a prize, as well as a semi-finalist Silver Medal Illustrator promo card. From there, one submission from each Beastie or Aura will be chosen as winners, so 20 winners. Each of those winners will receive 100 of the 2022 Fan Art blister packs and a Gold Medal Illustrator promo card. And at the bottom of that, they say, pro tip, try to match the aura color of the Beastie you're submitting art for, and more generally, the style of MetaZoo artwork. Art should be completed in square dimensions. So we might be asking ourselves, what are some of these beasties? Some of these I've never heard before. So let's start with that first one. The Bunyip is a creature from the Aboriginal mythology of southeastern Australia, so we're in a completely different country than normal. Said to lurk in swamps, billabongs, creeks, riverbeds, and waterholes. And the art that comes up on Google for this is quite interesting. Owlman is the dark beastie, and is the name given to a large owl-like humanoid entity very similar to the Mothman from Cornwall, England. The first sighting of Owlman took place in 1976 in the village of Manan. And this article says it's sometimes seen as the English counterpart of the Mothman due to the similarities between Mothman and Owlman. So it would be really interesting to see some art of basically just Mothman with some English-style accessories. The Mongolian deathworm, our earth beastie, is a creature that was alleged to exist in the Gobi Desert. And as you can imagine, this is basically just a giant man-eating worm type thing. So we're definitely getting a lot more global with the Fan Art 2022 beasties that they've chosen. And for the spirit beastie, we have Baron Samadi. And actually, I was not able to find an entry with this spelling. The entry that I found is Baron Samedi with an E, not an A, or various spellings of Samedi. And Baron Samedi is one of the Loa of the Haitian voodoo religion, and is described to be a chaotic spirit greatly enjoying smoking, drinking, and possessing people. So that's fun. The Snophus is our light beastie, and it's from the Ozarks of Arkansas and Missouri. It's a mythological creature of regional folklore described as an all-white, deer-like creature, but much larger. It's often reported to have plum or dogwood branches in full bloom growing from its head instead of antlers. For our lightning beastie, we have the Caledonian boar, which was a monster in Greek mythology that existed during the Olympian times. It was sent by the goddess Artemis to destroy the region of Caledon, and honestly, I have no reason why this is a lightning beastie. The frost beastie, the Colorabetch, is a thing of nightmares. It's a cross between an enormous rooster and a man. The only entry I could find online for it is called a Beistamen, and the artwork for this is terrifying. I will not be sleeping tonight. For the Cosmic Beastie, we have the Paciencia Abductors, and this is based on an abduction case that took place in 1977 in Paciencia, Brazil, with the aliens appearing to be somewhat robotic and standing on one leg. For the Forest Cryptid, we have the Flashlight Frog, which is probably the most likely to exist out of all of these, and is described as a small bioluminescent frog approximately 3 to 6 inches long that lives in Africa. And finally, the Flame Cryptid, which honestly seems to be my favorite out of all of these so far, is a large man-eating mythical creature from south-central Chile. So that's just a quick rundown of all of the possible beasties that you can submit for the 2022 fan art contest. Obviously, I didn't go over the auras. We all know what the auras are, and that's pretty much open season at this point because there's just so much you can do with those. Alright, so the reason that some of you are probably here isn't to talk about the fan art contest and what's going on with that, but about the logo contest. And in 5th place, we have Mike Mondays with this entry. Mike received a total of 19 votes, and will be receiving a Wilderness Blister Pack as well as a bookmark promo, courtesy of Immortal Workshop. In 4th place, we have One Up Jake with this entry. And One Up Jake will also be receiving a Wilderness Blister Pack and a bookmark, courtesy of Immortal Workshop. In 3rd place, we have Metacosmic Quest with this entry, and I have to say I'm glad that the schmooze did not die in vain. You will be receiving a Wilderness Spellbook and a bookmark, courtesy of Immortal Workshop. Now, before we announce the 2nd and 1st place, I do want to say that there was some concerns about the 1st place winner and the post having fake likes on it. I looked at it myself. I had some similar concerns. And I would just like to say that I did reach out to the 1st place winner. They were able to provide proof that they were promoting properly, and my concerns were washed away. So for those of you that may have brought up those concerns to me, please, if you have any questions, reach out. I'm happy to talk to you about that. So without further ado, the 2nd place winner was Quibble Shorts with this entry. And Quibble Shorts will be receiving a Wilderness Spellbook, a fan art blister pack, sealed, and a bookmark, courtesy of, you guessed it, Immortal Workshop. And before we go on to announce the 1st place winner, I do just want to say that Immortal Workshop is an online LGS that is relatively new. It was only opened up this year. They are incredibly community focused. We've had a lot of conversations about different giveaways we can do and different ways to give back to the community. So it's really been a pleasure to work with John at Immortal Workshop to bring this contest to life and to figure out how we can better support the community. And just a reminder that he was kind enough to also offer this discount code, the One-Eyed Crow, at checkout for 10% off your entire order. So if you haven't already by this point, please go to immortalworkshop.com, check out what he has to offer there, and consider making a purchase. And for those of you that play the game, keep an eye out on the MetaZoo Play Network for Immortal Workshop. They will be hosting games on there as well. All right, so the first place entry goes to Got My Ducky for this entry. You'll be receiving a Wilderness booster box alongside a fan art blister pack and a bookmark, courtesy of Immortal Workshop. But wait, there's more. The 5 random winners of the theme decks are EpicTube HD, Angry Julian 15, Lagnus, Gilksy Gilks, and Jonah Fatoni. Congratulations on winning those, courtesy of Immortal Workshop. And I will say that I did end up learning a lot of things that went well and did not go well with this contest. Ways that I ran the event that I shouldn't have, or decisions that I made that I would make differently. So thank you for bearing with me for this contest. If you have any ideas on how this could have been improved or what you'd like to see differently in the future, please reach out. I would love that feedback. I don't intend to stop doing things to give back to the community, and I want to make sure that everybody's happy with how things are going. So that's all I really wanted to cover with this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.